In this video, I'm giving you a masterclass on writing copy that grows communities fast. I've written copy for the likes of Kerwin Ray, Luca Hochevar, Craig Ballantyne, and it's generated more than $500 million in sales for my clients over the last 12 years. There are 5 principles that are going to 20x your community growth. And the first one is, can I visualize this? Okay? When we think about copywriting, so many people want to jump into like certain frameworks, certain tactics, like use bullet points, use PASPA, follow ADA. Like they're all surface level copywriting shit. Okay? The 5 things that I'm going to cover now, and this first one being, can I visualize this? These are universal principles. This is the deep stuff that so many copywriting experts won't tell you about, because they just focus on those surface level things, but we're going to get to the heart of what really matters. So when we think about growing the community that we have, whether it's on school, whether it's on Mighty Networks, whether it's a Facebook group, whether it's on Circle, the one thing that we need to do in order to attract people to the community and then get them inside is help them to understand what it is that we're doing, and in turn help them feel understood. So we need to make sure that they can visualize themselves and visualize what is in it for them in a very easy to understand manner. So we ask ourselves the question, can I visualize this? The goal is to always answer yes. Okay? So we want the copy to be incredibly simple, and we want it to be specific. If we're using like a law of polarity here, a scale, on one end we have abstract, which is I can't visualize it, and on the other end we have concrete, which is I can visualize it. So the goal of your communication, the goal of your marketing, the goal of your copy, whether it's written text, whether it's a video like this, is to help the reader understand and feel understood. Okay, so let's use these, what do I have here, 6 examples to get this message across about the power and impact of being able to visualize things. So close your eyes right now for me and tell me how easy it is to visualize these things. Seamless transition, charging pitbull, muscly Irishman, a better way, a leg of lamb, faster progress. Of those 6 things, which ones could you easily visualize and see? Could you see a seamless transition? Could you see a better way? Could you see faster progress? No, because they're abstract. Logically, when we're like using those words in our copy, we think it makes sense because we know and we understand it. We know that there's a better way for them, a new opportunity. We know that it creates faster progress. But we know that because of the results that we have. So if we were to use those results instead to communicate it, and we'll get to this in a further one about pointing and not talking, if we used those examples, then that would help the person to be able to visualize it and see that, okay, I can now see how XYZ got faster results. But when we just say a faster way, a better way, faster progress, a seamless transition, people can't understand it. And a confused mind says no every single time. But this charging pitbull, you can visualize a pitbull and see it charging towards you. You can picture a muscly Irishman. You can picture a leg of lamb. They're very concrete. Okay, so what you want to do with your copy is make sure that when you've written it, or you've shot the video, or you've written the script before you shoot the video, you ask yourself, can I visualize this? Can I actually see what it is that I'm trying to say in a very simple, clear manner? Because if I can, excellent, I've done my job. Because we always want to write at like a 5th grade level. That's another tip. And the reason for that is because it's easier to visualize and understand. But if you've written it and you go, can I visualize this? And you go, kinda's not good enough. It needs to be definitive yes. Because as I just said, and I'll repeat it again, a confused mind says no every single time. And them saying no is them closing the link or going and doing something else, which isn't what you want them to do. You want them to take action on the thing that it is that you want them to take action on. Okay, so first copywriting principle. Can I visualize this? You want the answer to be yes, because you want the reader or the watcher to be able to understand and to feel understood. Okay, now second one, and this is what I just touched on before, is about pointing instead of talking. So this is what helps people to be able to visualize things for themselves. So using an example here, let's say that I'm single, okay? have a wife, love her to death. However, let's say that I am, and you're trying to set me up with one of your friends, and you go on to try and tell me about how amazing she is, and you're like, look, Nick, she's sexy, she's intelligent, she has great values, and I'm just sitting here like, yeah, I've heard it all before. Like, how many people out there, how many women out there are sexy, intelligent, and have great values? Like, I'm not going to be that interested because you haven't sold me. You're just talking to me and telling me these random things. But if you were to point and be like, look, she invests in herself, she listens to podcasts whenever she's driving, she reads every night before bed, I'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds like someone who's quite intelligent. You know, she's 5'10", she has Italian heritage, you know, blonde hair. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's quite attractive, that's pretty sexy. And then you say, you know, she didn't come to my birthday brunch because her 89-year-old nan had to go to an emergency doctor's appointment and nobody else could take her. I'd be like, man, that's some really good value. She prioritizes family over, you know, other things. So you haven't just said to me she's intelligent, she's sexy, she's got great values. You've actually proven it to me. You've pointed to all of these things that I can sit back and go, yeah. Like, I can see a 5'10" blonde from Italian heritage. I can see someone that reads every night and listens to podcasts in the car or out while they're walking. I can see someone saying, no, sorry, I can't come to your birthday brunch because I have to take care of this family matter. Like, I can visualize those things because you've pointed. So pointing is about proof. It's like if you were trying to sell me on Bitcoin. You could be like, look at all this research, look at all this data, like, look at all these people that are buying it. Or you could just sit there and point to the goddamn chart of from day one to now, and you could just let that do the talking for you, and I could go, man, that has risen a heck of a lot. Or you could try and sell me on like why Warren Buffett is a great person and model when it comes to investing, and you can try and sell me and talk to me about it. Or you just point to all of his investments and the results that they've had. So here what you're doing is that instead of talking about how great you are and how great your community is and how great the process is and the program is and the course is and everything that you've created, you just point to all of the different case studies and the results that people had and go, look at this, listen to this person, listen to this person. Because that's going to do so much more for you than you actually trying to do it yourself and communicate it yourself. The metaphor here is we use like a food court test. So it's like, imagine yourself in a busy food court, there's 100 people in there, it's packed, and you get up on the table and you start trying to get their attention by telling them how great you are and how great your community is and they should join it. Like, nobody's gonna listen. They're gonna be like, just shut the fuck up, I want to enjoy my meal. But if other people were to do it and get up and be like, hey guys, I have something to tell you about something that radically changed my life. So if you're like this type of person, I recommend that you listen. They're going to be like, oh, this is pretty interesting. Like, I wonder what they have to say. And then they're going on to talk about you and about how great you are. It's status by association. So instead of you getting up there all egotistical, they're going to be like, man, like, I'm like that person. This is really interesting. I'm gonna look more into that. Like, they're talking about something that helped them, not talking about themselves. Again, that's pointing instead of talking. Yeah? So the third one is you want to write like you talk. So what I mean by this is you want to write as if you're having a conversation with someone. So there's going to be a natural flow to what it is that you have to say. There's going to be a tonality. There's going to be a structure. There's going to be some short, sharp sentences. It's going to flow like what I have written here, so that when the person reads it, it just naturally goes at a great speed. There's not big blocks of text that are going to turn people away from reading. So short, sharp sentences. Throw in some longer ones so that there's a flow to it where you can explain things more, because that's how we communicate as people. And then go back to shorter. And use some ... Create space. Because that's how we communicate as humans. That's how people want to consume information. Okay? The fourth one then is you want to write like they talk. So what I mean by this is you want to use their language. You want to write at a 5th grade level to help them understand and feel understood. But you want to do your market research so that you're using phrases, specific words, specific lingo, specific abbreviations that they use, so that they can connect with it, so that they can again feel better understood. This is for me, because they're using the words that I use. They're speaking like I speak. The connection is there, the resonance is there, the magnetism is there. And that's the thing about copy. It needs to magnetize people. And the way that it does that is it polarizes people by speaking to one sort of person and repelling everybody else. Because if you try and write for everyone, you're going to end up writing for no one, because you're not standing for anything. So you write like they talk. This is for this type of person who uses this language and these words and understands these phrases, because it's going to stand out to them and attract them like a moth to a light. It is going to magnetize them. Okay? So, number 3, write like you talk, short, sharp sentences, make it flow, use tonality by, making certain words all capitalized, using exclamation marks, bolding things, italicizing things, and then throw in longer sentences that explain more and more and more, because it's going to give that natural flow to the reading and to the consumption of the person, and the experience that they're having is going to be more natural. They're not going to feel like that they're reading marketing copy. It's going to feel like they're having a conversation with someone, either here through video or through the written word. And then number 4, write like they talk. Okay, the 5th and final one is a very powerful one. It's called the rule of 1. And this ties into like the law of magnetism, the law of attraction, the law of resonance, the law of entanglement. It's all of those worked up into one thing. And this is the most powerful copywriting tactic that I've ever learned, because I apply it to every single piece of copy that I write. And it's what generates the success. And the reason for that is that you want to write to one specific person. You want to create this piece of copy or this video for one person only, as if you're speaking to that singular person. They could be a current client, they could be a past client that you saw great results with, or they could be a prospect, someone that is a lead right now and is an ideal client, and you're like, oh, I'm going to speak to that person because they would be a perfect person for my community. So you want to write to them and solely to them, because what that's going to do is it's going to magnetize that person. And if you write like they talk, and you write like you talk, and you point, and you help them visualize it, then it's going to magnetize them to you, but it's also going to magnetize everybody else that's like them to you, because we are all individual, unique snowflakes, but we're also not. There are lots of people out there that are like me. So if you write something for me, if you create something for me, the other people that are like me that see it are going to be drawn to it as well, even though you never knew that they existed. But they're going to feel the resonance, they're going to feel the attraction, they're going to feel the energy behind it, and they're going to become entangled in it. So it's that law of magnetism. So you write for one person, and then you layer these other rules of 1 on top. So you focus on one powerful idea, one thing. You tell one, I shouldn't do that. You tell one compelling story in it. You focus on one evocative emotion. You focus on one desirable benefit, and you give them one very simple, very clear call to action. So this piece of copy that I'm writing, whether it's a landing page, or it's a sales page, or it's an email, or it's a video, or it's a social piece of copy, or it's a VSL, it's an ad, whatever it is, I'm writing it to one person, and it's focusing on this one thing. And in it, I'm telling this one story, and I want to evoke this one emotion, and I'm going to frame it and get them to focus on this one desirable benefit, and I'm going to tell them that there's this one action for them to take at the end of it. That helps them visualize it. That helps them understand it. That makes it simple and clear, which removes any confusion or complexity. Okay, so to reiterate, growing your community, it comes down to these principles when it comes to your marketing, when it comes to your advertising, when it comes to anything that you write to either put up on the internet or to shoot in a video or in a podcast. All of those things, every single word is a piece of copy. Copywriting isn't just for like text. It's also for the videos and for the audios, because any word is a piece of copy. Okay? So you want to make sure that you tick all of these 5 boxes. Can I visualize this? Yes. Am I pointing? Or am I doing too much talking? Am I writing and speaking like I talk? Am I writing and speaking like they talk? And then am I applying the rule of one? Is this for one specific person? It's a current client, a past client, or a current prospect? Am I focusing on one powerful idea? Am I telling one compelling story? Am I eliciting and evoking one emotion? Am I focusing on one desirable benefit, the most desirable benefit? And am I giving them one very clear, simple, direct call to action? If you do those things inside of your marketing, inside of your advertising, inside of the content that you create, inside of the landing page or the sales page, or if you're on the school, the about page that you've written to get people inside of your community, if you do that, with time, it's going to exponentially increase the results that you see, because the compounding effect is going to take over, and your marketing will become world-class, and your marketing will magnetize the right person and attract the right person and resonate with the right person. And then if you've got the right offers and you've got the right sales system set up, it's going to take care of itself. But this here is all about traffic first, and then it's about conversion second at the conversion events like the sales events. Okay? So as you can see, none of this it's not new, it's not complex, it's quite common sense. But this is the depth, this is the core of copywriting that nobody speaks about. And you can use this, as I said, headlines, hooks, sales pages, VSLs, organic content, emails, DMs, just anything that you create, because each word is a piece of copy. I want to reiterate that, so I'm saying it again. Each word is a piece of copy. Okay, that's what needs to be tattooed on your brain from this. Copy isn't what you think it is. Every single word that you write or that you express and speak is a piece of copy. And they need to apply to these 5 different principles, these 5 different rules. So focus on one thing, focus on one person, focus on one idea, one story, one emotion, one benefit, one call to action. Make sure that people can visualize it. Make sure you're pointing, and make sure you're writing like you talk and write like they talk. If you do that, you are ahead of 99% of the population. Message is clear, it's going to resonate, and it's going to bring people to your community. And then if your sales conversion assets are optimized, you will convert those people into your community. So thank you very much for joining me here on Traffic and Conversion Show. Please, if you found value from this video, like it, subscribe to the channel. 2 videos coming at you every single week to help you grow your community. So this channel exists for 2 types of people. The first to someone that currently has a community and they've hit that ceiling at about 20 to 30K MRR, and they go, I don't know what the fuck I can do to get like over this, to break through this barrier. Or it's for the experts out there who have tapped out a one-to-one business model and they're capped, and they want to pivot into a one-to-many business model to more than 20x their yearly revenue. That's who we exist for, because that's who we're world-class and I'm world-class at supporting, because there's key data points and leverage points that you just focus on, and like small problems that you solve. And when you're stuck at that 20 to 30K MRR in your community, you can double that, and then you could triple it, or you could even 10x it, just by focusing on solving problems either at traffic level or at a conversion level. And if you're the expert that wants to get from the one-to-one to one-to-many, again, it's a very simple process. It just starts with packaging up everything that you have and then choosing the right business model and then applying the right playbook. That's what we're covering here on traffic and conversion. So thank you very much for being here with me. Thank you for being here with us. I appreciate you tremendously, and I'll see you on the next video.